Salem might not be the place for you. So rather than talk about it and tell you all of these stats and information, I'm just gonna whip out a map and show you everything you need to know about Salem before moving here. These are things that I wish somebody had told me when I relocated to Salem 5 years ago. It really could have saved me a lot of headache and time in trying to figure this stuff out. In this video, we're gonna be talking about what the heck is it actually like to live in Salem and what do you need to know before you move here. Now, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about Salem, Oregon and its surrounding towns, make sure to subscribe below and hit that little bell button to be the first one notified when I put out a new video each week. My name is Clarity Odd, your local realtor, and if you're relocating and wanting help to purchase a home here in the Salem area, reach out. You can find all of our contact information in the description of this video, and really, call us. We get so many calls from people who are just like you, relocating and watching these videos. We're helping them, so don't hesitate, give us a call and we can help you too. Okay, we are talking about everything you need to know about Salem. I relocated here just like you, so I'm gonna give you an outsider's perspective and tell you everything that I've learned about Salem. First and foremost, where you live is going to determine your commute times, just like any place. But what's really important to note is that Salem is set up into different sections. So we have the Willamette River right here that cuts through the edge of downtown and separates West Salem from downtown Salem. And the incredibly annoying thing about that is that you have only one bridge that gets over the river from West Salem to downtown Salem. It's incredibly congested during rush hour. So if you need to commute either north or south on I-5, which is the highway in Oregon that runs north to south, that is located right here. Here's I-5. If you want to live over here, you are gonna have a heck of a time actually getting to I-5. There are different routes you can take, but it's easily going to take you just 30 minutes getting out from West Salem to get onto the highway. An option for people who do need to commute north or south on I-5, a great neighborhood to check out, and we kind of say that it's part of Salem, but Kaiser is actually its own little town and it has its own mayor and city hall, but it's kind of just part of Salem colloquially. Anyways, Kaiser is located right up here. Oopsies. It butts up against the Willamette River, which is right here. And it's a really great option for people who do need to hop on I-5 and travel north or south. In Kaiser, you are going to have things like our one and only In-N-Out Burger. Kaiser Station, which is right here along the freeway, we have an In-N-Out Burger, we have Target, we have Yumbles, REI, which is our local outdoor supplying store. We have all of that right here in Kaiser Station. A lot of people in Sunny Slope, South Gateway, oh my God, I'm drawing a penis. A lot of people in those areas will actually travel into Kaiser Station because it does have the nicer and the bigger Target, and like I said, the one and only In-N-Out Burger. We also just recently got a Chick-fil-A over here, which is like right over there. So it does have some of our better fast food, but we now have 2 Chick-fil-A locations. The other one is in South Salem, so you got options. If you are looking to purchase in Northeast Salem, which is all over here, this is actually Southeast. It's kind of a weird part of Southeast. But one of the really great things, if you don't want to traverse your way into downtown by going on kind of these side roads, you do have the option of hopping on Cordon Road, which is right here, right along the edge of Northeast Salem. And as you can see, like, this is Salem right here, right? But this all of this green stuff, all of it, it's all farms. It's crazy. We have so many farms around here. Now, depending on where you are in town, we're going to have different types of farms. So over here in Fruitland, which is so funny because that's where I pick all of my favorite berries at the U-Pick places. We just got strawberries, but my favorite blueberry U-Pick places over there. You also have raspberries. So Fruitland is like berry mecca. All right, so you've got your berries over here. And then up here in Kaiser, we actually grow a lot of different hops. And so you can like go drive up north from Kaiser and you're just gonna see fields and fields of hop farms. It is the coolest thing. Now over here on West Salem, all of this area and really beyond is wine. Oregon in general has a lot of different vineyards, but West Salem is a really great place if you love wine and you want to do like weekend trips out to the vineyard. That's a great spot. Now this little thing down here, Enchanted Forest, it's like our kind of ramshackled, quirky Disneyland. I hate to even compare it to Disneyland. It is absolutely not like Disneyland. But what it is an amusement park, and it is super fun. It's slightly like, you know, are you gonna die today on this ride? I don't know, but it's kind of fun because you've got a Yeti next to you, you're going through the slopes, it's great, and if you're gonna die, I mean, what a great way to do it. Oh God, that's so morbid. Anyways, Enchanted Forest is super fun. This is downtown Salem. And downtown Salem does not have much residential living. It does have a few condo buildings that you can purchase a condo in, but honestly, they do not go up for sale very often. So I just say if you're wanting to live downtown, it's going to take a little bit of time, or you're going to need to rent an apartment until something pops up on the market. This little green box right here, this is called Bush Park, and this is where all of the old houses from the founders that built Salem, that's where they built their houses. And so if you want to live close to downtown in an actual house, looking around Bush Park, this is a really great option. Minto Brown Park is super fun, super close to downtown, but it's really great because you can walk. It has cement paths. They have a really great off-leash dog park in there. So if your doggo is a good one, it's like the best place because it's massive and there's walking trails. It's a whole bunch of fun. But one thing to keep in mind is that houses down here on River Road, they are in a flood zone. So you need to be mindful when you're looking at houses right up against the Willamette River in this specific section. There are a few other flood zones in Salem. It kind of cuts through. We have Pringle Creek, and so those are some areas to keep in mind. But the houses are so few that it's really not the biggest concern in the world unless you're looking in very specific locations. Now, like I said, we have 2 Chick-fil-A's now, thank you very much. And the second one is right next to our Costco. We just got a new Killer Burger, and that little section is right around here in South Gateway. So if you are living in Sunny Slope or some of the other southern residential neighborhoods in Salem, Costco right here is going to be your probably best bet for getting groceries. But you do have smaller stores, and you have a Fred Meyer's, which is around right here. So you do have options, but you need to have a car to get to these places. Salem is not good for public transportation, in my opinion. So you need to have a car because these are all residential neighborhoods, and you need to drive to your grocery store. There's not bus lines that connect these deep residential neighborhoods to your Costco or your downtown. So you really got to drive. This is our Oregon State Fairgrounds. Every year we have livestock shows, livestock auctions, and it's just a really fun country fair. There are rides there. You can get ice cream. You can get a whole bunch of carnival food. It's super fun. But that happens every year, and that is located right here. People come from all over the state to attend this festival. Now, talking a little bit more about the roads in Salem. So you have I-5, which is north to south, our predominant highway here in Oregon. You have 99E, which splits off and kind of parallels I-5 for the most part. That used to be the biggest thoroughfare in Oregon going north to south, but then we got I-5. So I-5 is right here, but depending on where you're going to live, your distance and proximity to I-5 might not be that far, but it could take you a while to actually get onto I-5. So if you live in the south neighborhoods of Salem, it can take you a good 20 minutes just to get onto the highway because there's not really a direct path to the highway. So you have to kind of like meander through the residential neighborhoods. And then another main street that we have is going to be Commercial, which really runs, you can take it all the way up into Kaiser if you want. Super convenient. It's a road that goes all the way through Salem. You're going to have Trader Joe's right over here. Again, this is kind of where your Costco is. So it's really one of the main arteries of the city. And then over here, you branches off into Liberty, which is also a really big thoroughfare street. Now, these are our main kind of streets, and as you can see, we've got I-5 right here, but the rest of it, the frustrating part is you really do have to zigzag through the western side of Salem over here to kind of get to I-5, so it can take a little bit of time. Now, West Salem over here, I was talking about the West Salem Bridge earlier, which connects the eastern part of Salem, which is basically all of Salem, to West Salem, which is actually kind of like its own little town. West Salem is in a different county than the rest of Salem, so West Salem is in Polk County, and it's pretty self-sufficient over there. So if you don't need to be getting to I-5 and you want kind of a smaller feel, West Salem could be a really good contender for you. And one of the funny things about West Salem, so you can really, there are only 3 options to get to West Salem across the Willamette River, and that's the West Salem Bridge from downtown Salem to downtown West Salem. And then you also have the Wheatland Ferry, which is probably somewhere up here, and that is a ferry that crosses the river. It is the most terrifying thing ever. So if you don't want to go onto the ferry, you can't get over the bridge from West Salem to downtown. The only other option you have, it's actually not on my map, but it's around here. It will connect you to Independence, Oregon, which is further south, actually. Just imagine that I drew that line a little bit further down. So you really only have 3 options if you're going to live on the west side of the Willamette River. So you've got the ferry, you've got the bridge that goes downtown, and then you have another bridge that runs from Independence and then up into West Salem. My personal favorite park besides Minto Brown is actually located in Kaiser. It's up here called Willamette Mission State Park. If you have horses, you can go on trail rides there. You just have to pay a day pass, or you can actually get a Oregon State recreational pass. That's good for all of the Oregon State parks throughout the entire state. And I think we bought ours 2 years ago and it was like $45. But if you were to go visit any of these parks, it's usually like $5 a trip. So it's super easy to make that a justifiable purchase and just get the pass. But Willamette Mission State Park is what it's called. Super great for horse trail riding, walking, riding your bicycle. They also have an off-leash dog park. I sometimes rollerblade there. It's just a lot of fun. And they also have disc golf. So a lot of people do disc golf up there. Now, there is new construction in Northeast Salem. You have some in South Salem, and actually you have some by the airport too. So you have a few pockets of new construction, but for the most part, you're not going to see big sprawling new construction, tract land, like a big subdivision in Texas or something. The other important thing to know about new construction in Salem is it really doesn't come with different amenities. Like, for example, in Texas, you'll have a recreational room, you'll have multiple pools, and that's just not how new construction is here. So just keep that in mind. Not a lot of people even have pools because it's so dang cold here most of the year. We do have an airport here. It is currently just a private airport, so if you have a private plane, you can fly out of it. Last I checked, there is actually force behind the bill that would make this a public airport. And that's located in this section right here. So this is the Salem Airport. Like I said, it doesn't have commercial airlines. So if you are flying out and you need to travel or whatever, you're gonna have to go to the Portland Airport, hop on I-5 and go north. That's about an hour drive, so it's not too bad. If you're going somewhere a little bit closer, you could hop on I-5 and go south and go to the Eugene Airport, which does have limited flights to places like Denver and Salt Lake. One of the really great things about Salem is that any of this gray part right here, that's really just super residential living. But if you want country living, you want acreage, you want horses, you want land to play on and get your 4x4s out, all of this area is going to be really ideal for you to look at. We have a lot of expansive land that you can purchase with beautiful houses, with farms and ranches. Like, you don't have to settle for city living in Salem. You really do have options. Here's downtown Salem, and downtown Salem is really a destination because there's not a lot of residential living. So you have people coming in from Kaiser, Northeast Salem, Almsville, and South Salem. They all kind of get out of their residential neighborhoods and go into downtown to enjoy a night out on the town, and then they go right back to their residential neighborhood. That's just how it is. If you're wanting to move to Salem, but you still feel like you're needing some more help and figuring out where to actually live in Salem, send us a text, an email, pigeon carrier, whatever the heck you want. But reach out, because people just like you relocating to Salem already are. We are helping them, and we want to help you too. You can find all of our contact information in the description of this video. Bye, friends!